So we must do two things, two great things together, to encompass that enormous new view that lies before us, but to encompass it within the framework of science, to see it within the whole categorical framework of science, and to see that these two are not separate, but that they are wedded. The bigness of the idea, the newness of the idea, the greatness of it is one with the structure of science, the structure of being itself. We see that we have that term mourning, to mourn, the mourning of spirit. Where do we find this term? Where does this term come from? Would you be able to recall that? Janet? Spirit. From Spirit, yes. And do you know it from any of the Bible teachings? Sure. Yes, the Beatitudes. And it just happens to be, it's a coincidence that it happens to be the second Beatitude. Actually, there are no coincidences. There's only science. Mm-hmm. And so that second Beatitude is well known to us. It's, "Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted." Blessed are they that mourn. And mourning is a term that really conveys a process. Again, a process of spirit. And it's the process of separation, of leaving something behind, or of seeing that something has been finished, has drawn to a close, has fulfilled its place value, leaving something behind. We can say, although we never leave anything behind in the system, it's gathered up, it's taken up, it's carried forward, but in a new light, from a new standpoint. So what looks like leaving something behind is not really so, but we see it and understand it in its place value, and we don't try to carry it along and drag it along and interject it into another place value other than its own. And so that has so much to do with everything in our lives as we go forward and are moved forward. It has to do with our concepts and the stages that we go through and the ages that we go through, that we are able to recognize and to understand when something has fulfilled its role as a concept or a stage or an age. So it can be leaving an old paradigm behind, you see. What kind of an attitude do we have toward the paradigms of our present model of understanding, or any given model of understanding? Do we want to drag that along with us, throughout the whole of our lives, that we only have one standpoint and we carry that through and we never entertain the possibility of something new coming in? Or can we actually see that we honor and respect any given paradigm by understanding when it has fulfilled its place value in a whole development, in the whole order of the unfoldment of spirit? So it has very much to do with leaving old landmarks behind, no matter which aspect of our life we consider that in. If we understand that spirit is the ordering principle, that it orders everything, it brings these separations, which are not negative, they're not sad, but they indicate really the movement of the order of spirit. And as we do that and are true to that ordering process, we will be comforted. How are we comforted? My gosh, it's by the new thing coming in, huh? When that which is new, when the next stage, the next age, the next place value comes in, what a comfort. And then we see that we haven't left anything behind, that we can't leave anything behind that is of worth and worthwhile to us, of value in the whole order, the whole spiritual order of our being. Even in the so-called loss of a loved one, you will see that. That if you take the standpoint of spirit, of science, and the science of spirit, you will begin to understand that nothing is working but the divine order for you and for that loved one, and that there is no separation in that sense. That in spirit, the separating process, the mourning process, doesn't mean that we are separated from something that is good, something that we love, and that this would be some kind of a blessing. But the mourning is to be willing to see that order of spirit which is going on, isn't it? And when we love the order and we acknowledge the order as the only thing going on, then we experience that we are comforted by spirit. Comforted by the fact, really, that everything is a spiritual question, and that the evolution of spirit never stops, the progress of spirit never stops because of any experience, that it is enhanced for us by every experience. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay.